Hi, I'm Betsy McKinney. I'm with the Carrollton-Farmers branch, ISD's Parenting Education Department. Today I'm going to talk to you about establishing rules for student success. Power belongs to those who use it, and if parents don't, their kids will. Most research studies in education identify the parent and the home environment as the most important key to a child's educational achievement. In a study by the Center for American Experiment, found that by the time youngsters reach their 18th birthday, he has spent a very small percentage of his time at school. Most is spent in other places. Obviously, the home environment is a major influence on how a child performs in and outside the school setting. The development of good study habits and attitudes towards learning and the work, they need to be generated in the home. This is a process which occurs over time and may take many years to develop and mature. Homework provides an important avenue through which parents can be active participants in the learning and work process of their child. Who is in the driver's seat in your home? When it is the child, parents feel scared, out of control, helpless, vulnerable, and angry. The child feels scared, insecure, reckless, aggressive, and has little regard for others. The process of losing control begins when there are no clear, consistent rules and consequences in place, and when the parents fail to follow through. With the parent in charge, the ride is safe, confident, relaxed, and calm. The child feels secure, safe, trusting, and able to be a child. Certainly, every parent at one time or another has felt as if he or she were being overpowered by a child. It is a basic law of human nature for children to test limits. Children tend to view this as an enticing challenge or a contest. It's fun to push mom and dad's buttons at the most vulnerable of times. If children succeed in these efforts, the motivation to try this a little harder or pick up the pace only escalates. Parents need to provide boundaries and to help children to learn and develop. Testing limits can be frustrating to parents. Having rules helps parents to handle these tests. An important part of the solution to homework battles is consistency. Consistency over time. Rules and expectation for children's behavior are fairly consistent on a daily basis. Consistency between parents and between children. Parents need to agree on rules and boundaries so children understand them and do not engage in setting one parent against the other. Allowing for differences in ages and abilities, the rules should be similar for all children in the family. Consistency between expectations for the child and behaviors of the parent. Our own behavior should model our expectation for our children's. Consistency in our message. Our messages should parallel the behaviors we expect from our children. Many child specialists claim that the balance of power between parent and child is established by the time the child has reached 3. It's important to start setting limits and rules when the children are young. It's never too late to gain back your authority. Children do better when they have rules. They set limits for their behavior and let them know what is acceptable or unacceptable. Rules give them choices. They know there is a predictable cause and effect relationship. Most importantly, rules let them know that their parents love them. Now, for some guidelines in setting the rules. This can include rules for homework. Set rules which are appropriate. Continually evaluate the rules to be certain they are developmentally suited. Avoid setting too many rules. Establish rules which you can and will enforce. Parents should be united in setting rules. Avoid setting yourself up with rules and consequences which you are unable to enforce. Have a plan in place for following through. Involve children in establishing rules for which apply to them. State rules firmly and clearly. Be straightforward in stating rules. Very young children need little explanation or rules. Older children generally require reasoning behind the rule, but explanations should be brief. Be sure the child clearly understands what is expected of him or her and be specific. Ask younger children to rephrase the rules or requests. Lastly, follow through. Use consequences which will create discomfort for the child. Whenever possible, use consequences directly related to the misbehavior. Enforce consistent consequences for rules not followed. Most of all, provide positive reinforcement for rules which are followed. There are many benefits to the child who develops a healthy sense of responsibility, including a feeling of contribution and being important to the family and others, a feeling of competence and independence, a feeling of self-worth and trust in oneself. The parent who does everything for the child robs the child of these experiences. It is a natural instinct to want to help your children. It's a natural instinct to want to help our children and to protect them from mistakes and unpleasant consequences. Yet the most successful way to protect children is to teach them to be responsible for themselves. How do we teach our children to follow homework rules? In preschool, teach responsibility by giving appropriate chores. Help children learn to follow directions and develop listening skills. For children kindergarten through grade 3, teach organization and time management skills. Have a set time and place for homework which you and your children decide on together. Encourage children to do work before they play. This is also a time to start discussing problem solving related to their homework. This could include what to do if a book is left at school, or what happens when they do not write the assignments down on their planner. Once children are in grades 4 and 5, continue teaching time management skills by helping children learn to divide a large project into smaller steps and then plan what is needed to complete the project. Teach children to schedule their day starting with the amount of time needed to get ready in the morning, school time, and after-school activities, homework, chores, and personal time. Allow children to experience natural consequences of getting a bad grade when homework is not turned in on time. Parents should not do the homework for the child. Addressing homework issues must begin with a clear understanding of role clarification. What is the role and responsibility of the child? Children should know their school policies, bring them the needed materials home, and they should plan their time to do the work and then turn it in the next day. What is the role and responsibility of the parent? The parent's role in homework is a very critical, necessary element. However, it needs to be an indirect role, one of providing guidance and support. When we as parents cross over this line into the child's territory of responsibility, we begin to create problems for the child as well as ourselves. When these roles are not clearly defined, there is a blurring of boundaries and conflict. Homework need not be a nightly battle. When done properly, parental involvement should lessen through the years. Even with the older, independent learner, parents need to demonstrate continued interest, enthusiasm, support, and role modeling. Be aware encouraging lifelong skills is a primary focus of homework. Teachers also have a responsibility when assigning homework. They need to communicate their policies, teach study skills, and make the homework meaningful. Finally, the teacher needs to evaluate students' learning and provide feedback. One main reason our children like phones and tablets revolves around friends. They want to stay connected. If we really take time to think about the positives of such technology, we realize they are a great tool for us and our children. These tools make life easier and more efficient. Our world is beginning to become paperless, and education is no different. Technology is going to remain part of our family life. The applications are likely to change at a whirlwind pace. As with everything else, our relationship with technology and its role in our family is related to our family values. Our goal as parents is to help our children grow up capable of making healthy choices. While they are in our care, however, this means we set some rules about the gadgets we provide for them. These rules are likely to make us unpopular, but children need good parents, not more friends. Kids do as they see their parents do, not as their parents say. So if you have a phone with you on 24/7, then your kids will learn from your example. Now take control and drive the homework battle out of your home.